You're kicking off your weekend right. It's Friday, and you're listening to Radio Random Network. Find us on the web at radiorandomnetwork.com. Here are the hosts, broadcasting 50,000 feet below the Earth's crust, hashtag RDM, Russell Devin McLean, and the world's smartest redneck, Mudtooth.
Here we be.
Back.
How y'all been?
Mudtooth.
Missed y'all.
Hashtag RDM.
And the hash brown Mudtooth.
That's right. We're back here on the Radio Random Network, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you're listening to it from.
You know what we used to call them hashtags?
What's that?
Tic-tac-toe games.
Really? You talking about
That's tic-tac-toe.
Yes.
You know?
Well,
that's what that is. And then it was the number sign.
Yeah.
And somehow or another it became the pound sign.
Yes.
And now it's the hashtag, or like I say, the hash brown.
Well, hashtag.
I like hash browns, and hash browns are tasty.
Yes, that's a part. It's a part of my name.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like to say.
Okay. Well, you play tic-tac-toe, and then your name.
Well, you see, I haven't lost my ability to be adventurous.
Hey, you might not be old enough to remember. When I was a kid, they had these machines. They put them out in the mall every now and again.
Okay.
And you would play, it cost like $0.25, and you would play tic-tac-toe against a chicken.
A real chicken.
A real chicken. They had a chicken in there, and now Peter would go nuts today.
Yeah.
But they had a real chicken. It's like a rooster. There's a big old white rooster in there. And you put your quarter in there, and, I mean, the chicken's back there. I mean, he's looking at you, you know.
Yeah.
And you had the buttons, like the tic-tac-toe board was up there. And I think the chicken got to go first. Yeah, it's been a long time. But when I tell you that chicken would beat you every time. And if you won, you got a little prize. It's like one of them little plastic eggs would drop out and had some kind of, something stupid in it. But,
for $0.25.
Yeah, for $0.25. I mean, what you going to get? But, yeah, that chicken would beat you every time. I might have beat that chicken one time.
What mall was this?
Old Hammond Mall.
No Hammond Square Mall. It doesn't surprise me. So it had a real chicken.
Had a real chicken.
Lord have mercy.
Now, I want to say they had one in there that a rabbit did something. I forget what. But I know you play tic-tac-toe against the chicken.
Well, how did the chicken play tic-tac-toe?
He would, I'm sure it wasn't nothing that he did. He, like, you'd push your button, and then he'd peck on something down there. And I'm sure what it was, it was like some food come out or something. He was just pecking. It was probably some kind of computer doing the picking.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Chicken won.
But that chicken was good. Now, that some bitch was good at tic-tac-toe.
Lord have mercy. I know I don't remember that. I do remember, and they probably still do this, chicken drop.
Oh, yeah.
That was a famous game here.
Now,
do it at the Defunct Campground.
Over in Texas, our cousin Rick Watson,
Hog brand.
They have what they call chicken shit bingo, and it's the same thing.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's pretty good name. I think it would be a fine name for a band.
Chicken shit bingo.
Chicken shit bingo.
Maybe we need to work on that.
I think it's a good one.
That's pretty neat. Been busy as of late. We've been busy. You've been busy doing things. I've been busy doing playing a little music here.
Yeah.
We got some stuff coming up together. You got some stuff coming up. I got some stuff coming up. Matter of fact, tomorrow night, go ahead and get it out of the way. Ladies' night at our place in Central.
Oh, yeah?
It's going to be myself and Steve Haney.
Okay.
2-piece.
That'll be fun.
It's the first time I've really done that in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like doing...
I ain't done that since me and you did it back in the old days.
Playing for tips to 5 o'clock somewhere. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks. Joe Faraci, wherever you at. God bless
for
you.
nothing.
Driving a tomato truck or something.
Yeah. But I never did like doing... I felt naked without the band. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just it's something to do. Get out of the house. Getting paid.
Well, that's the most important thing.
Well, that's cool.
I bring the house with me. So,
Yeah,
it ain't like
true.
I'm getting away from anything.
That's true.
Not that I want to. Love you, baby.
That's right.
But anyway. So what's been happening, Mudtooth?
Just, living, man. Just, watching TV, bunch of foolishness going on in the world, and Luke Bryan still hadn't accepted my challenge.
He ain't gonna, I don't think.
You know, and
you know, that's funny how we can get Kenny Rogers, and we can get people like that to retweet us and tweet us. But Luke Bryan he's running. He won't even pay us no attention.
Chicken. He's a big old chicken.
We got Janie Fricke.
Janie Fricke?
From the, I'm
going to tell you something.
Fricke, whatever.
Yeah, I said that's Janie Fricke. And I'm going to tell you something now. Janie Fricke back in the day she was a little bit of a fox.
She still is.
I mean, I ain't seen her in a long time, but, you know, when I was a kid, and she would sing songs straight up about messing around with some married dude. I mean, she didn't care. She'd sing, I'm just straight up.
Was she like a...
It ain't easy being easy.
Yes.
You know, it's a cheating situation. Did that one with Mo Bandy.
Really? Yeah. That's right, sure did. Which Mo Bandy was on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
You can go check that out on the website at www.radiorandomnetwork.com. But Janie's going to be coming up here in a little while. But before we get to that, we got a lot of stuff. I forgot my notes this week.
Well, you know.
Got a new addition to the family. I can say now the dog ate my...
There you go. Dog ate your
my notes.
All right, then. Let's talk a little bit about... folks, I'd like to talk... Look, it's getting around Halloween time.
Don't buy no pumpkin beer.
Yeah, it's getting around Halloween time, and there's a lot of pumpkin spice things that you'll see on your store shelves. You may see some pumpkin spice little snack cakes, or you can go to Starbucks and get you a pumpkin spice latte. I hear they're tasty. But would you please, for the love of God, stay away from any kind of pumpkin beer? I'm trying some now. It's this New Belgium Pump Kick, and it tastes terrible.
It's no good.
I mean, I can't make myself like it. I took 2 sips, and that was it. I don't know whose idea it was, but they should be fired.
Need to be slapped, yes.
They need to be fired and or drunk out into the street and shot. It's terrible, and don't waste your money.
And this company, I don't know who done it, who put it out, but they will be getting a tweet from me saying your beer sucks. Take it off the shelf.
Well, you know, now I'm gonna tell you something. New Belgium makes some fine products. Okay, I enjoy their Fat Tire beer. Pretty good. It's called Fat Tire.
I'm gonna have to try that.
It's pretty good, but this shit here is terrible.
It is. It is. I have to tell you.
It's just terrible.
You know, I drink a beer once a week, and it's whenever we get together and we do our show here. And
right. It's terrible. This is terrible.
The last 2 times we've ran into a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that Fireman beer wasn't too bad.
Did you like that?
It was all right. But that old hop-sation, whatever that was bad.
Yes.
And then this stuff here is bad.
Yes, you're right. The Fireman's beer was pretty good, I have to say. But with all of that,
next week we'll be reviewing Old English 800.
Yeah, well, maybe so. Maybe so. Speaking, I mean, we own, you know, you get busy. Everybody does it. You know, Tanya likes to drink a glass of wine maybe twice a week or something like that. When, you know, the kids go to bed, she gets her glass of wine. She sits down and we watch.
She like red wine or white wine?
She likes white. She likes, well, I guess it's white, Moscata.
Or does she like that? Well, that's what they used to call that old pink muscat.
That might be what it is. It's Moscata.
Moscata, yeah, that's a white wine.
Whatever. It's cheap.
Yeah.
You know? But she got me.
For the good folks at Mogan David Wineries.
She got me a bottle of Jim Beam. But it's Jim Beam apple. I guess it's a kickoff of the Crown Royal apple.
Yeah, everybody's doing their flavors now.
Well, it's pretty good.
Is it pretty good?
It's pretty good. It goes good with Sprite, actually.
I'm going to tell you what'll get you in trouble. Get you some Captain Morgan and some Sprite.
Really?
It tastes just like cream soda. Listen to me, folks. Even if you don't like to drink, try this. Okay? I'll make an alcoholic out of you. Just look.
I don't know a whole lot about it.
Well, think about it. Look, you drink one down and you say, "Whoo, that was good," and next thing you know, you done drank 5 of them. You know.
we get down, which Friday I had the pleasure of playing the Gretna Fest this year.
That's right.
So Tanya gets down there, and we go and explore it. I mean, it's like, again, you bring somebody like her and I to the big city, it's like the Clampets coming down, So.
Looking up at the tall building.
Yeah, and she looks around and she's like, "Ooh, what's that, Paul?" And she sees it's a train wreck. It was like some kind of Malibu rum drink. Well, what it was like 10 different flavors of rum.
Right.
Whatever.
Pour it all in there.
It was in a bucket.
Nice.
I've never seen, and she drank it all, which she ain't going to waste it, but
No.
It was in a big old bucket, and it was in a pretty good sized bucket, and it had a straw. And I was proud of her. It was $10 though, but I mean,
damn.
Mm-hmm. And it was like, for me, I mean, I'm a fat guy. I'm not gonna lie to anybody, but it was like it was killing me because I could smell the blooming onion, but I couldn't find the blooming onion.
I went to and just folks and anybody that's in the area. It is Living Parish Fair is going on, and the Angola Prison Rodeo is going on,
which is a big happening
every Sunday in October. I went Sunday, and I had a blooming onion, and it was terrible. Well, they didn't cook it all the way.
I hate that. You know who else did that? And it pissed me off. And I'm sorry, Mama, but it pissed me off because Tanya and I rode around for 45 minutes in Baton Rouge.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we wound up over there on the other side there by the mall.
Right.
And I want to say it was a Texas Roadhouse. Something like that. Dude, they didn't cook it all the way neither.
Yeah,
so you just get slop with some onion on it.
Yeah, that's it. It was like an onion with some batter. I mean, now look, don't get me wrong. Some of it was good.
Yeah, the outside.
Now, but now at the same time, the people who cooked mine was making 4 cents an hour. Okay. the people who cooked yours was making quite a bit more. And you should demand quality there. I couldn't really say nothing. But folks, I'm gonna tell you something. If you've never been to the Angola Prison Rodeo, that's something that you need to check. Now, if you have never seen people with absolutely no regard for their personal well-being,
I've heard that.
I mean, just get out there and get it. I mean, them bulls. I saw a dude get launched, I know, 10 foot in the air. Now, I'm talking about a grown man. That bull come up behind him and just whalloom, and he just went off up into the air. He went, They do all kind of crazy stuff. They got this one, they call it pinball.
Okay.
They put these hula hoops out in the rodeo pen, just lay them on the ground. And an inmate comes and stands in every one of them. And then they turn a bull out.
First one moves, loses.
Now, whoever is the last one in their hoop win.
Okay, now what's the prize? Like a honey bun or something? I mean,
no.
No purse.
To be honest with you, that's probably what all of the money that they win gets converted into is honey buns and things of that nature. But
ready rolls.
Yeah, that's right. Pack of smokes. But it's like you have to do some events to get to all around. And then, of course, the big one at the end is what they call the guts and the glory. That's when they take the biggest, nastiest bull you've ever seen, and they tie a big red. It's kind of like a big red poker chip, if you want to imagine that. It's probably about about 3 or 4 inches across, and they tie it right between his horns. Right, it lays right there on his forehead,
perfectly.
Right, and whoever gets that thing wins like $500, and that's a lot of money to an inmate. When you're making 4 cents an hour out there picking peas from daylight to dark, that's a lot of money, right? So there's usually about 15 of them will get out there with him, and they got this one old boy who's been winning it. I mean, like I guess maybe the past 5 years, the days that I've been, he's been the one who gets it.
He trains probably.
I don't know.
Look,
he's good at it. Them other ones that get out there, he'll kind of let them get knocked around a little while, and get stomped on and all, and then he'll just ease up in there and just snatch that thing right off that bull's horns. He ain't scared of nothing. Really? Look, I tell you what, I wouldn't tangle with him.
Do you think he's like the kingpin of the cell block?
I think he would be. If I was in there, I can tell you that. I wouldn't fool with him because look, if he'll get in there with a bull, that I mean, look, I ain't talking about just some old. I mean, this thing is massive. Come on, they saved the big one. He's the boss. Right. That thing gets out there and gets to pawing and snotting, bellering. And then here he goes, just goes knocking them around and just gouging them on the ground and everything. It's something to see. It's something to see. Now, ain't no folks, before y'all get all nuts on me, ain't nobody died.
Well, it's the prison rodeo.
Right. Most of these dudes are doing life anyway. If one of them were to die, all they do is shorten their sentence. but ain't nobody died. Matter of fact, I don't think anybody went off in the ambulance. Well, one dude might have. He got hit pretty hard. I don't think, he might have broke a rib or something.
And he probably did that just for...
Well, I mean, he don't have to work. See, I mean, now he ain't got to pick peas, right? Now he gets set up in the infirmary for a week and, get some good dope. I mean, it's true, man. That's the way it is. You're in prison.
Come on. Did you happen to see Mr. One Man Gang, former WWE?
No, but I'll tell you who I did see.
Who was that?
Harvey Updike. Okay. You know who Harvey Updike is?
Explain to myself and the folks out there
Harvey Updike is an Alabama fan. And he is the one who poisoned the trees up there in Auburn. Oh. Yes. Matter of fact, he parked right by me. Really? And when I got out, I was standing in line. Well, we bought some, because the inmates, they sell all kinds of arts and crafts too. So I was actually buying my daughter a purse. Cool. And I looked, and in line, he was standing in the line next to me. I said, oh, God. He had him a belt on, said, roll damn tide. And all his Alabama regalia. He's got this big old walrus mustache, And I said, that's that damn Harvey Updike, And I was kind of hoping one of them bulls would break loose and come over and stomp him.
No, that ain't nice.
Well, I don't like it some. And I'll be honest with you, it ain't the fact, and look, I ain't no Auburn fan either. I tell you that right now. But I did go. I've been up there and I saw all that before he did that. But that's just some kind of, really what that's like if he went to LSU and poisoned, fed Mike Tiger a bunch of antifreeze and killed him. I mean,
don't give nobody no idea.
Right. Well, I mean, it's the same shit. It's what kind of damn meanness. Right. Right. I mean, look, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't like Alabama. All right, I don't like nothing about the University of Alabama. All right, I'll just say that right now. Matter of fact, I don't even think I would call it a university. I think they ought to call it damn middle school or whatever, school for kids who don't read so good or whatever. But I'm going to say this. I'm not going to go up there and cut the head off of Bear Bryant's statue. No. Or nothing like that. I mean, now, if I got close enough, if I had a chance, I might pee on it. But I might.
You would pee on the statue?
I said I might. I didn't say I would.
But what Bear Bryant?
But at the same time, no, Bear Bryant. I'd probably pee on Nick Saban. But but this son bitch,
Marty Rayburn from Shenandoah. If you're listening, I'm sorry.
Was he an Alabama
fan? We love you. Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, look, Marty, I think you're a good singer. Ain't no accounting for taste. I mean, you probably don't like LSU, and that's cool. And look, we can agree to disagree. I don't dislike, like Marty Raven. Well, I don't really know him, but I mean, I don't dislike him just because he likes Alabama. Now, this son of a gun, though, this Updike fella, I mean, he's he's a special kind of ignorant, you know.
Really?
And you know, he went up and then called in on the radio show and told him he did it, and then wanted to come back and say it wasn't him, but it was too late. You know, he done let the cat out of the bag because he wanted to brag about it, right?
Right.
He wanted to brag about it, and so. But like I say, I'd been up there. Well, I went up there for the LSU game. Matter of fact, it was the last year Cam Newton or Scam Newton, as I like to call him, play. And we went over there and saw that. It was a place called Toomer's Corner. And what their deal was, they had these big oak trees out there, and they was hundreds of years old.
Right.
And whenever Auburn would have a big win, they'd all go out there and throw toilet paper in the trees. That was their deal, right? I mean, everybody's got their own thing. So, you know, while I might not dig it, you know, that was their thing. And to go up there and just kill some trees that didn't have nothing to do with nothing, that's just a shitty thing to do. And now he's
toilet paper,
right? And now, as a matter of fact, he lives in our fine parish. And
really,
yeah, and because they run him out of Alabama, I think, and put him on probation or something. And it's just whatever, you know. I'm just glad that I didn't. I wanted to say something. Oh man, I wanted to say something to him. But
you should have.
No.
Would you like to get him on the show?
No, absolutely not.
Because I think he lives out by our fine friend, Mr. Sam Houston.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you,
a.k.a. Michael Smith, a.k.a. Jake the Snake Roberts' brother.
I'm gonna say, Sam, if you see that son of a gun, you better
bulldog him.
Yeah, bulldog him. That's fine. Y'all practice. Maybe it'll help you practice. Maybe you can kind of like spar on him a little bit, whatever you have it work.
Indeed.
But no, I didn't need to say nothing to him because I'm afraid of what I'd have done.
Right. Lord have mercy. Well, I unfortunately I haven't been keeping up with the LSU guy. I know they're killing the music business. Because I know, look, y'all don't be afraid to come out after the game.
Well, you know, and something else is, LSU's supposed to play South Carolina.
They're back, Saturday.
In South Carolina, but due to all the terrible weather and flooding and all, and if there's anybody in South Carolina listening,
Angry Grandpa.
I mean, I hate it for y'all. I've been through there, and what I saw of it was nice, but, I hate it for y'all. But anyway, they're going to play the game here at Tiger Stadium. So, we got another home game now, but yeah, that'll kind of mess up the bar business a little bit.
That's fine. I think Saturday I do a benefit at what they call the Ditch Bar out in Springfield. Don't ask me how to get there, and I don't have the directions.
It's out there in the ditch.
Look it up. It's in the ditch. Saturday night.
I think that one that's like way down off the road.
Yes, sir.
Like that, really down there
in the ditch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right there by that bridge.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
Yes. As long as it don't rain, I think we'll be okay, boss.
If it does, you ain't gonna be okay.
Actually, last time we played there, it had a really big crowd, really good crowd.
Good.
It's been getting a pretty good reception here lately, so it's pretty nice to be
That's
back
good.
on the scene. Not to change the subject or anything, but anyway. You were talking about South Carolina. Shout out to Mr. Charlie Green, a.k.a. The Angry Grandpa.
Oh, yeah?
Do you know Angry Grandpa?
I do not know Angry Grandpa.
You have to look Angry Grandpa up on YouTube. Angry Grandpa is this old guy, and his son. Now, Angry Grandpa has issues, okay?
Uh-huh.
And he has bad anger issues, and his son follows him around with a camcorder. Now, Grandpa has been banned from Walmart.
Oh, Lord.
Denny's, Shoney's. He pretty much can't go anywhere.
He has to stay home.
But I have been in contact with Mr. Michael Green, who is Angry Grandpa's son, and we're trying to set up a date where Angry Grandpa can call, but right now he's battling with Dr. Drew.
Oh, isn't it?
He hates Dr. Drew.
Like the celebrity rehab,
yes.
Dr. Drew?
Yeah, Dr. Drew said something was wrong with Angry Grandpa, and Angry Grandpa said some negative things towards Dr. Drew, and Dr. Drew's legal team didn't care for it too much. It's a big fiasco. You know, and Angry Grandpa, I mean, he's got a couple of million followers on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, because, I mean, it's very comical to watch because at any minute he could be sitting there eating dinner and just get
snap
up and flip the table and You know, get out of my house.
I'm gonna watch it. Does he turn? He turns into Doyle Hargraves and Sling Blade. We ain't got no damn band.
Screw you, Randy.
Go home and practice, Randy. You tuning son of a bitch.
Pretty much.
I watched that the other night, man. It never gets old.
Tanya watched it actually for the first time a couple of weeks.
Well, and that's what I was doing. I was introduced. Remember, my niece was on the show the other day. Yes. She had never seen it, and so I introduced it to her, and she just fell in love with it. And I said, "Yeah, it's a great movie." And of course, my wife hates it because then for like 3 days after I watched Sling Blade,
it's contagious.
I start talking like him. You know,
can't help it.
Right? You know. And just, you know, Daddy worked down at the sawmill, down at the planer mill for an old man named Dixon, you know. Yeah. And she just, it makes her mad.
I get stuck like that on things.
She's like, you know, what do you want for supper? And I go, got them French fried potatoes. And she, oh.
Yeah. Corn dogs it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, I guess that's better than saying, like, these nuts, which.
That's old. That's
I'm going to tell you something. I'm about done with the D's nuts.
Yeah. You know, he was actually...
that poor little retarded dude, you know.
Is he?
I mean, come on, man. You look at him.
I didn't pay attention. You know, somebody, I think when they were...
Janie!
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention. That's been around, actually, for years.
It has. But this guy... You know, I guess
it's just the way he says it.
It's just the way he does it, you know. And it just it caught on again, and people's just running that into the ground. Man.
Pretty much, too much. Yeah, it's over with now.
I hope so.
It's over with. It's just what gets me is like you going down the road. Tanya still does it, and it busts her up to tell me these nuts.
Does it?
Now Tanya,
and she has no nuts.
No, that's my fiance. It's not funny.
All y'all women want a pair of nuts. All you do, don't before you get to yelling at whatever you listening to this on. Mm-hmm. All right, you know it's true.
It's very true.
You know I speak the truth now. I mean, I ain't gonna sit here and back off. You know, y'all want a set of nuts. And that's why what y'all normally do is you take your mans, figuratively, and put them in a little jar that you keep in your purse. That's usually the way it works out.
That's where mine are, and I'm proud to say that.
Hey, I ain't had mine. Matter of fact, mine is right behind that. It's in that china cabinet right there.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I like to display them prominently.
She hands them to me when needed.
Yeah, every now and again.
Right. But, we were talking about the new addition to the family. RDM. It's Rocky Dog McClain.
Oh, come on.
Yes, we got to keep it going, bro.
So what kind of dog is he?
I don't know.
Well, what's he look like?
Well, here's the thing, okay? They was fixing to give him no...
Yeah.
Up at and if you can adopt, if you can afford it.
They're going to shut him down.
Right. But, I mean, he's 2 years old. He's already smart. Mm-hmm. And what I like about him is, he's not jumping all over you and stuff. And he's a manly dog. He's not very big. He's not very little, but he's a manly, he's...
Is he housebroke?
Yes.
That's
yes,
good.
I will say that he is now. Almost had an accident at the PetSmart, but I will take blame for that.
That's going to happen. I mean, I can forgive that, but as long as he ain't just running around dropping turds everywhere.
No.
Okay.
No, but he does. I swear, I've always heard people talk about dogs farting.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you something, brother. That I don't know what they feeding him up there at the animal shelter. But whatever it is, didn't sit well with his stomach. And, 3 times on the way home.
Give him the gas, did
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Give him the winds.
But, it's funny because people ask, like, what kind of dog is he? And he's like, so they said at the, a lab mix, which means...
Who knows? It means mongrel.
Right. But then you got, like, neighbors and stuff playing the guessing game. Like, oh, what kind of dog is he? And he's like, he's a lab mix. I bet you he's a lab and a Rottweiler. Where did you get Rottweiler
I bet he's a pit bull and a tiger.
Right. It's like, no, he's not. What are you talking about?
He's just a dog.
He's a dog, and he's a good dog, and I like him.
Well, good. I'm going to tell you something. Ain't nothing wrong with a good. It ain't time for me to have a dog now.
No, it's got to be a good time. It's got to be right.
Yeah, it ain't time for me to. But when I'm one of these days, I want me a blue tick.
Mm-hmm.
I like him blue tick. I just because they not quite. I like bloodhounds, but they just so big, and that's just too big for me. But that blue tick, I just can take him out in the woods, and he can run around or whatever, and that kind of deal.
Now, is that the blue ticks? Is that the I call it the Jerry Reed dog?
It's kind of like what the University of Tennessee has for their mascot.
Okay.
Yeah, I like them dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a coon dog,
Yeah. But always, like you said, it's got to be the right time. But if you can adopt, please.
Absolutely, that's a good thing. I've adopted a dog once in my life, and it turned out good. He was a good dog. So just do that.
Yeah, they call
and help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered.
He's neutered too. That's a good thing about it.
Yeah, they'll do that.
He's strong. I tell you that. He's real. Like he's. You
think he pull you out of a burning building?
I think he can.
Well, I him.
I'll tell
he's
you
good
that.
To keep around. Him.
And I'm not saying that just because he's our puppy, our dog.
I mean, now
he's very quick, and he will drag your ass because he dragged me halfway across the parking lot over there at Jubin when we
all
went
right.
to. No, not all right. I had flip flops on. That hurt. No, he was a. But feeling
a little rambunctious. I see you drinking a little more.
I'm thirsty. Been thirsty.
Dude, I'll get you some water or something.
I'm all right. This pump kick beer. Don't buy it, for God's sake.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't buy it. It's terrible.
Any news in the music world you've seen here lately?
Well, it's John Mellencamp's birthday.
Happy birthday.
And I'm going to tell you something. I don't care. I don't know, we might not agree on everything, but I'm going to tell you something. I have always been a big John Mellencamp fan.
Sure.
Back, of course, when I come along, it was John Cougar Mellencamp. Before that, it was Johnny Cougar. But, I grew up on that. He sang a lot of songs that I could relate to, like Small Town and, Pink Houses and that kind of thing. And even on up to, all the stuff he's done with Farm Aid over the years, trying to help the farmers out. I mean, man makes good music. And so happy birthday, John Mellencamp.
Johnny Mellencamp, hurting so good. That's so true what you said about it, and that's the battle that this, I guess, at this point in time with music is nothing on the radio you can relate to.
No, well, I mean, they just sing a bunch of stupid crap. I mean,
right.
I don't even know, Country Girl Shake It for me. I don't even know what's on right now. I'll be honest with you. But I downloaded some stuff today, and it was some Guy Clark and some Delbert McClinton.
Speaking
stuff
of
like that.
T.G. Shepherd is coming out with a brand new CD.
Isn't it?
And it's duets and collaborations with different artists,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them will be Delbert McClinton.
Oh, that'll be kind of an odd mix.
Yes, and he has one with Jerry Lee Lewis on there as well.
Who recently turned 80?
Yes, and still raising hell.
The killer.
Yes. I love that Jerry Lee Lewis.
I do too, man.
Somebody ought to. Why can't somebody do some of his songs? Why don't we put them on the radio, re-record it, like Breathless? You remember Breathless?
You know why? Because nobody's got that fire.
Maybe I need to do it.
Breathless was good. But the thing about it is it's not. Well, and you think about when those songs were recorded too. I mean, it's like that old stuff. That was everybody got in the room, and laid it down, right? I mean, it wasn't like, all right, the guitar player comes in one day, and then the drummer comes in one day, and then, it wasn't all that. I mean, it was, you got in there and you knocked it out, right?
Right.
And so, yeah, it's hard to, because, and this is just me, okay, but I just, how, it's hard for me to sit in a room by myself with nothing to work off of.
No energy.
Right, and doing that. I mean, but when you got a bunch of, you got a band in a room that can, they working off each other. Especially if you got a guy with a cowbell that's really exploring the space. That's a joke. But just explore the space. But no, I mean, really, and that's, to me, and I see the benefits or whatever, production qualities and stuff, but
I don't.
Well, I mean, I get it, bro. I get it because you can tweak little things, stuff like that. But
you were talking about the cowbell and stuff, and one of the bands that I've been playing with, LeBeau, which Alicia Coward is her last name. She's lead vocals, and Tanya said, I always see Alicia bring a tambourine on stage, but she never uses it. And I told her, that's for the crowd. And then I had to, retract. I mean, that's just for looks. Because I got to thinking, the last thing I need is her to, start drinking and get on stage with that tambourine and start shaking the shit out of it right beside me.
Tanya, I dare you.
Oh,
I
God.
double dare you. That's what you need to do.
But she's the type, she knows it body, she'll put it right in the ear and just
yeah, that's what I do it. I say do it.
It was the conversations her and I had. That was one of them the other day.
I just,
what you got?
this is what you do. All right. You on your next gig. Halloween's coming up.
October 31st.
Get you, the coconut bra.
Yes.
And the grass skirt.
Yes.
That's what you wear.
You think?
That's what you
I
wear.
ain't scared.
Okay. And the hat, the big, if you could find
The
a
hula
straw
hat,
hat,
yes.
the hula hat, that's got the things just kind of pointing everywhere. And, yeah, I think you wear that and then let Tanya come up there and play the tambourine next to you.
Why would I want to wear it?
I think,
benefit me?
well, I don't know, but
It'd make a good YouTube clip.
it'd make a very good YouTube clip. I don't think Tanya would wear it, but I think you could wear it. I'm not saying she'd look bad in it. I'm just saying I don't think she'd wear it. I don't think she's down for that, right? So I think that you should wear it because that would be hilarious.
I think I might. Well, the thing is, you see, Saturday night we playing at the Red Rooster in Albany, Louisiana, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know how they're going to accept that in there. I mean,
are you playing there this Saturday night?
This Saturday night.
Okay. Wow.
And yeah, I'd
is
like
it
to
the
make
Halloween party or something?
No, I don't know what it is. I guess it's just a.
Oh, y'all playing on Halloween?
I think,
Halloween's on Saturday.
I do think there is something on Halloween. I have my children, so I imagine I'm going to send them out because the benefit of having people pick on you, oh, you got a lot of kids, ha ha, and also by saying that, the joke that, do you know what causes that?
Yeah.
That's old. Yes, I do know what causes it.
Right.
We took sex ed at school. I don't need to hear what.
Well, I mean, if because what causes that is looking under cabbage leaves,
right,
where all the babies are found,
right,
under cabbage leaves. So if you would just stop looking under cabbage leaves,
maybe so. But that said, the cool thing about having a bunch of kids on Halloween is
you get a bunch of candy.
You get a shitload of candy.
Yeah.
Now the doctor, and I hope he's not listening to this, has been on me, but either way, I'm going to eat a bunch of candy.
So what's your favorite Halloween candy?
I like the fruity Tootsie Rolls personally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the lemon and the lime and
Yes.
the vanilla ones and all.
Yeah.
I like those. Those are always a good one. I like Smarties. I like Smarties. I like now sometimes, you go to places and they go all out and they give you like my all-time favorite was the little Hershey miniatures.
Yes.
The little Hershey miniatures, they had like the Hershey bars and the Special Darks and the Mr. Good bar and the Crackle.
Okay.
And those were always my favorite. And then I liked my grandma, God rest her soul, Mama Bunch. She used to make homemade popcorn balls.
Yes.
Oh my God, them things was good. And they can't nobody. I mean, my wife makes them pretty good, but it ain't Mama's.
No.
You can't get the recipe quite right. Man, them things was good.
Yes. Yeah, the treats. I've seen a thing, and here's another thing I want to discuss. People, the shit they post on Facebook and what the things that people run with. Have you seen this? Like with now they like watch this, and it's got like pictures of ecstasy. Like people be handing these out Halloween night.
Oh my God!
Watch, and then like everybody's sharing it, like it's right. It's in our neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, it's like the old razor blade and the apple, and it's always something. And look, folks, just please remember that just because you saw it on Facebook,
it ain't
or the internet, it's not true. Because hey, but now look, let me tell you something. If you don't post that thing on Facebook, they're going to take all your information. That's absolutely true.
That is the most retarded thing. You know what? The day that you sat down at a computer, I just want to get this out of the way. The day you sat down on that computer and you turned it on, and that old slow ass dial up started. Yeah. Yeah. The day that started is the day you lost all your information.
Oh yeah.
It was over with. And then I don't understand that. They get on there and they talk about, I'm posting this because Channel 13 said that, and it's true.
Look, ain't nobody said. Somebody just makes that up. It's you can start. It is so easy to start any kind of hoax.
Very much so.
On Facebook, because none of y'all do research.
No.
Why don't you take 5 minutes
and Google it? Because
Google tells the truth. Take 5 minutes and check it out before you go sharing it all over the world. Why don't you just say something like, I saw a 900-foot Jesus in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Or
right,
something. Right. Just check it out before you do all that.
Well, what gets me now is like, every once in a while you see it shared, like, especially like if you get around Walker, it'd be, just for example, I guess, but, white van's been spotted over by the park, and they've been going up to people's houses and human trafficking. And now every time you see a freaking white van in the neighborhood,
they got one down the street,
right? And the kids freak out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's that white van.
Yeah.
Like that's not the white van. The white van that they were talking about had Arden Wells written on the side of it. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to Arden. If I was in Tangipahoa Parish, brother.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on it.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that. I don't have to.
Yeah, it's just y'all need to calm down with your craziness.
Have you even watched? I don't want to, I don't get political or anything, but Tangipahoa Parish, the sheriff's race, Arden Wells, damn it, they took him off the radio and everything else, but they can't take him off of YouTube.
Yeah, I heard he's got some interesting videos out there.
Very much so. And some of them it's kind of contradicting. But they killing his cats.
They killing his cats.
Well, have you heard this? Have you seen that?
I haven't.
Yes. Now, he's making some pretty strong accusations against some people, and I don't know the people he's talking about, but apparently somebody went down, and apparently Orden, he lives down in Ponchatoula somewhere, but he's got a big old one of them big old flash and caution signs like you'd see on the side of the interstate or something. It's detour.
Right.
Well, he types in his messages what he wants, and I think he was calling his neighbor an arsonist or something like that. Oh, next thing you know, one of his 9 billion cats, or 2 of his 9 billion cats, got to, somebody murdered him and spray painted his signs.
Oh.
So, and I think he called the state police on him or something. I don't know the whole story, but
oh my word,
it's fiasco going on, but he's trying to free Tangipahoa Parish from Daniel Everett's.
Oh, I know.
Grips and clutches.
I know. He is not a big fan of the sheriff over there.
But yeah, you think now if Donald Trump goes in, Ardenwell might have a chance too.
Well, I mean, I don't know if Arden has contacted Mr. Trump to see if he could get an endorsement or not. He might want to try that.
And Arden, if you'd like to spend about $2,000 on some advertisements on podcast radio network, give me a shout.
But of course, that YouTube's still free. So,
yeah, but you only got 41, 42 subscribers.
That's right.
We
got more than that.
Yeah, we got a little bit more than that, buddy. And I'd like to thank you all out there, everybody on a serious note, has been. We got some iTunes reviews.
Yeah.
Yes. And I want to say thank you. I think we're up to 5 or 6 now. And new website up, www.radiorandomnetwork.com.
Pull them up there. I want to look at
them. Certainly.
I might read one.
You can read a couple of them. And it was, the website was going up and down. I got to fix our emails too, but again, but you can email Mudtooth at mudtoothradiorandomnetwork.com.
Please do.
We're in search for a Bigfoot hunter or something like. I want to talk to a Bigfoot, somebody an expert on Bigfoot.
Well, they got that show on was it that Destination America? And it's them dudes that live up in West Virginia somewhere.
Is it Mountain Men?
Yeah. Or Mountain Monsters. That's what it is. Mountain Monsters.
Okay.
And one of them, I'm pretty sure, wouldn't fit in my front door. He's a pretty stout fellow. But they a wild bunch. I mean, just a wild bunch.
Yes, indeed.
I see here.
We got total up to about 13 reviews on the old iTunes there.
They got some. Yeah, I mean, that's people that like we don't know. I mean, because I expect somebody that we would know.
I don't know if people we know actually listen to us. I know Randy Porter listened to us. By the way, congratulations, Randy. You won the Leonard Skinner.
Hey, Randy.
Yes. I have to get that to you. And I promise you when we
Is it ladies' night tonight?
It is ladies' night.
At the refuge?
Him and Jazzy.
Right.
You know what? I got to give props to Randy. Randy's going to see Meatloaf, and he actually invited Tanya and I to go.
You going to see me? That's cool.
Halloween night. He said 2 extra tickets free of charge. I actually got to play. I sat in and played bass with the Rex McDaniels band, which is one of the bands Randy plays with, and it was pretty fun. Randy's actually.
Where was that at?
That was at the Boopaloos down there in Springfield.
That's cool.
So, but yeah, it's. I got the notifications of the different.
Yeah, I mean, these people are saying like, this is one of my favorite podcasts on iTunes.
Yes.
Some guy named Luis Butler says, I actually should look at my iTunes feed to see when the show comes out.
That's pretty cool. Hey, Luis, you can go sign up for the newsletter. Okay,
right.
Go to Radio Random Network, www.radiorandomnetwork.com. Sign up for the newsletter, okay, and every Friday it will deliver straight to your inbox, and you don't have to look at your iTunes feed anymore.
Right. And then Antonio Bishop says, a lot of podcasts tend to be either funny or interesting. You listen to laugh, or you listen to hear a great interview.
That's pretty neat, ain't it?
Sean Lund says 5 stars to you guys.
Thank you, Sean.
Wine Man says
we might know him.
Yeah, I don't know, but it says great production, great sound, great guests.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gilbert
Gilbert 50
Gilbert
says
50.
5 stars for a great show.
Thank you.
You know, I mean, it's just neat. Pittering 007, License to Kill, says, I really enjoyed listening to this podcast. You know, that kind of makes me feel good.
It should. We put our heart and soul in this, man.
We do, you know. I mean, it makes me feel good.
It's not.
If I ever meet any of y'all, I'll buy you a beer.
Or you can buy us a beer.
It won't be none of this pump kick
no
crap, though. I can tell you that.
You know, the thing is, you do this, and sometimes you get responses, and sometimes you don't. Mm-hmm. You know, people are listening because you can actually look at the downloads and everything. But to actually get people to engage is very, very hard. Now, the last couple of weeks, I have to say, even, we did miss last week. The week before that, Marlon Hargis from Exile. Shout out to Morgan and the band for I Want to Kiss You All. Yeah, but they shared. I had 63 shares.
Cool.
On social media, thanks to...
Till the night closes in.
Yes, indeed. They toured with Aerosmith.
Did they?
Yes.
When was that?
They
don't know.
Wasn't born yet. But we are waiting on the book to review. And by the way, in the next couple of weeks, if you go to the website, RadioRandomNetwork.com, you'll start seeing... We'll have both of us, we're going to be setting up a blog. And whenever you can give little reviews, ratings, and... speak your mind.
I had no idea.
Yeah, well, I mean, we got a lot of things in the work, and...
there ain't no telling, hell, there ain't no telling what I'm going to say when I start talking, much less when I start writing.
Now, on here, we got to put a little filter on you. But when you get on that blog...
It's just wide open.
It's wide open.
Oh, Katie bar the door.
Yes, indeed, But we're on iHeart. You can go to the website. You can listen to all the interviews. I'm even putting up a little project I'd started with interviews from the very first interview. The very first show that you and I had done a couple of years back. All the way up, I guess, to I don't know. I don't remember the timeline or whatever. It's got to be at least 30 shows with the local bands in Louisiana and everything.
Right.
They're being remastered. And we'll be putting them up. But you're going to have to be a VIP member. That's going to cost about to hear those. And
VIP member now.
Yeah, those are gold, too, because we touched on some stuff.
Oh, while I'm thinking about it, Billy Joe Roll died.
Yes, and I wanted to say that. Billy Joe Roll, thoughts and prayers to you.
And his family. It's just a hell of a singer.
Yeah.
Hell of a singer, and did it for a long time.
He was actually, he was still touring.
I don't doubt it. He, played around here a lot.
No Bear Creek.
Yeah, Old Bear Creek. He was a favorite there. I hated to hear it.
Yes. Yes, Billy Joe.
But we all got to go.
Never know when that ticket's up.
That's it.
So, with all of that said, as we wind down, we got a few minutes left. Be sure and rate and review the show on iTunes, like to find folks have done.
Please do. And you know what? You might get lucky, and I might read your review. Yeah. Now, I don't know. I mean, I say, I don't mean you won anything, but
it might give you a better chance than any.
You know what though? It means that you and us, we connected on some level.
And that's scary.
Yeah. Well, it is Halloween.
Yeah. I think me and you's going to sign off here.
All right, then.
We're going to pay a little respect and thanks to the sponsors. And after that, I'll be joined by the great Janie Fricke. Did I say it right?
Janie Fricke.
Fricke. I said freaky, and I think I freaky.
Well,
freaky.
I don't know. She, back in the day, she might have got freaky. I don't know, but she was a good looking woman back then.
Y'all be sure to stay tuned for that interview because she's like he said, she's done stuff with Mo Bandy.
Oh, she's done stuff with a lot of people,
even Elvis.
Yeah,
pay attention. It's right. A good one, and we'll see you next week when I guess it'll be we'll try to get that psycho girl, suicide girl.
Oh yeah,
back around here. Yeah, she, But I done told the animal he's going to have to be in on it, too, so he might have to be on the phone with her, Skyping. We'll have to figure that out. All right, y'all be sure and visit the website for all the information and for the rundown for our fall lineup here on the Russell and Mud Tooth Show on the Radio Random Network, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all.
This is Radio Random Network. Find us on the web at www.radiorandomnetwork.com.
All right, if you ask me, I'm probably the luckiest guy in the world right now because my guest today has worked with superstars such as Ronnie Milsap, Loretta Lynn, Eddie Rabbitt, and the great Elvis Presley. She's multi-award winning with the voice of an angel. I'm talking about none other than the one and only Miss Janie Fricke. How you doing today?
Well, good morning, Russell. I'm doing very good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So what's been happening, Miss Janie? I mean, you've been busy. You got a lot of things going on. And so, I mean, what you been up to?
Well, we're just doing our concert tours as they come along throughout the year. And we've had a really great year, traveling a lot of wonderful places and teaming up with other acts and other artists on shows. And we've got a very busy season coming up. You mentioned Ronnie Milsap. I'm going to be doing a show with him in Branson, Missouri. I'm really looking forward to that.
Really? I had a chance to see Ronnie probably about 8 months ago, something like that. He was over here. And I'll tell you, man, that guy, he puts on one heck of a show.
Yes, he does. And he's such a great talent.
Yes, and he can still, I mean, it's like it's like his voice, or he's never aged.
I know, that's right.
It was awesome.
And so we're really looking forward to that. It's going to be so much fun. Playing in Branson, Missouri is always special. Now,
do you get up to Branson often?
Well, actually, last year we played the same theater, the Andy Williams Moon River Theater, with Loretta Lynn. And so the same buyer that bought us for that show is buying me back for the Ronnie Milsap show. So that will be great.
That is awesome. Well, Miss Janie, if you don't mind, let's rewind a little bit. If you could take us back to the moment that you decided that country music or singing professionally was something that you wanted to do for a living. Do you remember that moment whenever the stars aligned?
I think it was a gradual move into the business because I started out by doing studio work, and I was like a technician. I was doing jingles and commercials, working in a vocal group, and that was totally different from going on to becoming a recording music singer. So doing the technical part of it, I loved working in the studio. And we worked with clients and customers that would come in and want commercials recorded. So anyway, before that, I was a college student studying to be a teacher. And I remember my parents urged me to go ahead and get my education in case I needed it. And so I went ahead and did that in Indiana at IU. But then kind of drifted off and started in the music business too. So I was glad I got the degree in teaching, although I never used it. But the music thing just kind of fell into place. Experiences kind of tied in. Traveled to many cities, working in many different studios from the professional standpoint of it. And it just led into getting a contract to do my own records.
That's awesome. Well, let's rewind just a little bit because you were talking about, which is very important. Your parents, they encouraged you to get your education and everything. Just in case you had something to fall back on. But was music something that was always in your household?
It was in our family forever. Yeah, mother was a great musician, a piano player, a skilled piano player. Daddy played some guitar, and he's the one that kind of urged me to learn guitar chords. And I just learned the basic chords. But anyway, there was always music in our family. We were always singing and playing music. So yes, it was part of our lives.
Now, one more question, and we'll fast forward a little bit. But who were some of your influences as far as the music was going in that era?
Did you say the influences?
Yeah, your influences.
Oh yeah, I had a ton of them because I listened to the radio constantly and bought so many albums. But I mean, during that early era, it was people like Patsy Cline and Connie Francis and Brenda Lee. And then later on emerged into, the folk music era, Judy Collins and Joni Mitchell. And then it was even Barbra Streisand. I had a wide range of interests, and I sang it all and bought all the sheet music, all the records. So I was, fortunately pretty well rounded in it because Mom liked the Broadway show tunes, and so she would have me sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow from a musical. I was just singing all kinds of music at that point.
That's awesome. Now, and then that just took you to, after college, whenever you got your degree. Now, did you move to Nashville, or how did all that come about?
Well, actually, I dropped out of college, and this is for all those moms and kids who have to consider direction in their lives. Sometimes you have to switch back and forth, but you may come back to something that's very important. That's what I did. It took me 6 years to finally get that degree in elementary education to be a teacher because I had pursued opportunities to go sing and work in recording studios 2 different times. So I dropped out of college 2 different times, but I decided, to go back and get that because Mother would keep saying, you need to go back and get your degree. So it was really hard to do that. But the first time I had the opportunity to sing was in Memphis at this little company that did jingles and commercials. And that's where I first heard and met people like Ronnie Millsap, and there were all kinds of musicians going through the Memphis area at that time. But anyway, yeah, that's the way it goes. Sometimes you have to pursue what you think you love, but maybe go back and get your training in something else.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, that's, again, that's very important with the education and everything. And that's very awesome that if it wouldn't had worked out the way it did, you'd still had something to fall back on that you had a passion for, possibly.
Well, true. And in our day and time, the way technology is and the way job opportunities go, and with the world changing the way it changes, it's good to have a couple of things that you're strong in and know about.
Yes, indeed. Now, you also worked a little bit with Eddie Rabbitt.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
I thought he was so talented. I loved his music. And I remember playing some concerts, opening shows for Eddie Rabbitt. He was a very strong force in the Nashville scene during that time. And I was still growing and learning and trying to figure out the whole business. I was doing singing backup on people's records. I worked in a vocal group, and we would just go studio to studio working on different sessions, singing harmonies on people's albums. So we got to meet and know people like Eddie Rabbitt and their producers, and it was just a great time period, a great era for me.
Yes, indeed. Well, let's fast forward a little bit. Let's go to 1982, when you actually won the Country Music Association's Female Vocalist of the Year. Can you give us a little insight on what that experience is like?
Oh, it's just an amazing feeling. Well, first of all, to get to that point, you have put in a lot of years of hard work and travel and labor, and the music business is not just a piece of cake and a big party. It's actually hard work. It's learning the business and all that, and your peers actually vote on you, and then of course people who are members of that association vote on you. And so fortunately I'd been around a while. I'd been around the scene. I'd been a jingle singer and a studio singer and a backup singer. So fortunately, I was lucky. My peers, I guess they felt like I deserved it because I had put in a lot of time trying to learn the business. And I was absolutely astounded when they called my name because the competition is always so hard. I mean, you have tough competition when you're up for an award.
Yes, indeed. I can just imagine. But you got it. You didn't do it once. You did it twice in a row.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened either.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Wow. It was amazing. I'm very thankful for it. I'm very blessed that I received those honors. It's just been a great asset to my life and my career.
Yes, indeed. And now, fast forward and to now, you're still touring. You're still active in the music scene and everything. But you also have a album that came out recently, Countryside of Bluegrass.
Yes, that's one of my current newest albums. I've got a couple others besides that. That one is my hits done bluegrass style, and it was kind of a departure, a different experience for me to take my hit songs and put a different beat and a different production to them. So that was a fun experience. I also have one that I did with my band in my garage. It's like our own local project, and we call it Roses and Lace. And so we do songs off of both of those albums in our shows now.
Yes, indeed. That's awesome. Now, you said you recorded it in your garage, but honestly, I mean, in this day and age with the way technology and stuff is, I mean, that's not really too unheard of anymore.
That's true. That's not very unusual anymore. I mean, people do that all the time. They set up in their living room, I guess digitally or however they work I don't know how they work it because I'm not an engineer, but I know that it can be done, and that's what we did. But my husband had set up a full PA and a recording board and everything in the studio, and that's where we did that.
Now, you were talking about he set up a full recording thing. Now, I recently watched a thing on Jerry Lee Lewis not too long ago. All right, it's kind of it's a little off a little bit, off the subject maybe a little bit, but he was talking about the way things have changed through the years as far as recording and as far as going in the studio and everything. And the last album he did it live, which is now a lot of people say that's uncalled for, unheard of. Now, is that something that you guys did? Was it a live band and you singing and a recording going on at the same time?
Well, yes, we did everything all at once in the studio. But then, of course, when you record like that in the studio, you can go back and fix your part.
Right.
And so I fixed my vocals later, and the guitar player, he could fix his parts later because they all go DI, which means direct input with their instruments.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, but now a live album, I did a live album at Billy Bob's, Texas, which is one of the biggest dance halls in the world, I guess.
Yes,
and,
yes.
Years ago, I recorded an album called Live at Billy Bob's, and it has all my hit songs on it, and it was so much fun to do it. In fact, I still take it out on the road and sell it.
Yes, indeed. And if you're listening and you want copies of the CDs and the albums that she's talking about, you can get them at iTunes. You can get them at Amazon, and you can also find her music and everything else about Miss Janie at www.janiefricke.com. You got to excuse that southern drawl, sweetheart.
Right. That's correct. You got it right.
Mm-hmm. So, well, before I let you go, because I know you got a busy day ahead of you, and I want to personally thank you for taking time out of your busy day to give us a call here at Radio Random Studios. But with all of that said, is there any advice you can give any young, inspiring female singers or musicians that maybe want to follow in your footsteps?
Oh, sure. It's like any other business. It's an important business. The way you conduct yourself, you have to be considerate from a professional standpoint of view. You have to consider everything you say and do. You're being watched by other people. It'd be like any other business, really. You need to conduct yourself in a proper fashion. at all times because it is a business. It's a lot of fun to do music, but it's like anything else. You have to be wise. You have to learn about it and be careful. But if you do it right, you can have great success.
Most definitely. And before I let you go, one more question, Miss Janie, and I should have asked you just a while ago. I just happened to look down and seen my notes, but you actually you're on a duet with Mr. Merle Haggard. Now,
yes.
What was that experience like working with the Hag?
Oh, it was so exciting. It was great. I was completely thrilled when he asked me to come in and do harmonies on his album. And I've had opportunities to work with Merle both on stage in concerts and in the studio. So that's been a great highlight in my life.
That's awesome. Miss Janie, I want to thank you one more time for giving us a call here today. And when you get down around...
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. And when you guys get down around Louisiana, we'll be looking out for you. And
okay, Russell.
I want to thank you one more time, and we'll see you guys down the road.
Okay, great. Thanks for your time, too. Have a great week.
You too, Miss Janie. You be careful out there on the road now.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
For more information about the hosts, guests, or our other weekly programs, visit RadioRandomNetwork.com. Join us next week for another entertaining episode of Russell and Mudtooth. Thanks for listening.